Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hope if you celebrated Christmas or started celebrating Hanukkah or however you find yourself in this holiday season, I hope it's in full swing and you're doing okay. I'm excited to be here and take a moment to just step outside of my hectic workday. It's a full-on workday for me today. Just quick reminder: why do we do this? I know for me, a big part of it is just to make sure that I am actually intentionally carving out some time to activate parts of my nervous system that are otherwise really easy to just skip over or forget about. And since we are what we repeatedly do, I think the more we practice these various forms of stimulating positivity, the easier it gets. So today, what's alive for me is this guy. This is Carl Jung, and this concept of transference is pretty foundational to psychotherapy and certainly our personal psychology. And transference refers to the unconscious sort of attribution or redirection of our feelings and our narrative from one person to the other. So if I'm sitting with someone in a let's say a session here at the clinic and transference happens, it can go both ways, right? So the patient may begin to uh, experience transference where they begin to see something in me as their guide, that may actually really have nothing to do with me, but it makes sense to them where they see me either in a positive light or potentially a negative light. um, and the inverse can happen as well. So a big part of our psychedelic guide training has to do with us cultivating this capacity to realize, when are we transferring or practicing transference unintentionally towards our patients, right? Because that happens too. So if someone's telling me a story that really activates or triggers, traumatic memories for me or certain discomfort, then it's very easy for me to slip into a place where I'm beginning to sort of influence, the energy or the space between us based on my past experience. And so the antidote to all of that is a really solid mindfulness practice. Um, and again, a reminder: the reason mindfulness is so foundational is because it hopefully puts us into direct contact with reality. So our brain has this tendency to spin stories, and the present stories are usually based on past experiences. So in a very real way, I think we don't see life or other people or certain situations the way they actually are in this moment. We see them the way we were or the way we remember ourselves being, right? So that's why certain people can trigger us, or we see certain situations and we immediately jump to conclusions because we had certain past experiences that maybe sort of are familiar to us. And so if we can take a step back and say, okay, but wait a second, this is now, I'm right here, I'm noticing the feelings coming up, I'm noticing sensations in my body. Most importantly, I'm noticing thoughts or beliefs or memories going through my brain. If I can see all of that a little more clearly, then hopefully I can avoid bringing my past into the present situation and sort of tainting it or coloring it, right? It's almost like having a clear beaker of water and you put a little drop of dye in there, and the whole thing suddenly turns somewhat blue because it colors everything. It's not compartmentalized. Anyway, so that's the gist or the theme that I'm hoping we can practice together today. So I guess the intention would be to see if we can spend a few minutes getting really clear about what is happening now versus where our mind or even our body wants to transport us with these feelings, sensations, and thoughts. So let's go ahead and try that. Close your eyes. Just notice as soon as you close your eyes, what happens? Where does your mind go? Where does your attention go? Again, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's simply about noticing what happens and just being okay with it, just allowing it. about trying to evoke the sense of being a blank canvas, just an open vessel. Our mind literally has a mind of its own. It's just going to remember and think and believe. It's just going to do all its stuff. That's what it's there for. It's really helpful to be aware that that is happening and what it's like to be the witnesser of the mind thinking and remembering and in this case projecting or transferring. And my experience is takes a little bit of practice. And like anything that we practice, the more we can do sort of short but frequent practice sessions, the more productive it is in a sense, rather than trying to do a really long mindfulness meditation. You've probably noticed, even in just these couple of minutes, the mind has been sort of flitting about involuntarily. Present moment is very simple, just being. And typically, what complicates our experience in any given moment is the fact that we have this tendency to hook into our feelings or our thoughts, and then we get distracted from what's actually happening in this moment, right here, right now, which is we're just sitting, just breathing, just watching. Maybe you're noticing how stillness and quiet can be challenging in that way. It can be the longer we're still, and the less direction there is, the more there's this tendency of the mind to start thinking and wanting to fill that space. So a big part of this kind of mindfulness practice is just learning how to be still, be okay with it. And ironically, also be okay when that stillness is interrupted by thoughts, an itchy nose, the need to squirm or shuffle your body in your position. There's always something pulling us out of the present moment. That's okay. If you can just bear witness to where does your attention go when we just try to sit quietly and do nothing but just be. And what we're practicing here is our these impulses, these compulsions, all the stuff that our mind wants us to do, the things our body wants us to do. Again, there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just very helpful to know that it's happening. And even if you can just hold on to that experience for just a brief moment, just a few seconds or so of just simply noticing what's happening and the awareness that you're noticing, to step in the direction of being able to access this kind of consciousness on demand. And that's it's really liberating. Go ahead, take a deep breath in. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. Relax the shoulders, the hands, your jaw. And then hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more through the nose. Long, slow exhale. Letting go, relaxing. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Yeah, may this serve as a reminder that the cool thing about this kind of mindfulness practice is that it's free and we have access to it whenever we want, all day long. So you can drop into this for 30 seconds, 20 times for the rest of the day. I think the more we practice it, the easier it gets. So hope that was helpful. See you tomorrow, everyone. Thanks for participating.